It was quite a week for us here in California. I guess none of you, you live here in California. No, you don't. Nobody lives here in California. Okay, well, it's a little unsettling to be surrounded by fire. Even though here in concrete Los Angeles, it didn't get near to us. And I don't think it's cornball to thank the firefighters, because that's a hell of a job.
Right.
But I just wanted to bring in a little map. Okay, this is the fires here in Southern California. And look at the size of these fires. This is what I want to show you. You see this? 60 Minutes did a report on Sunday. It was absolutely ESP on their part, because this happened like the next day, talking about the age of the mega fires. And for those people who don't think global warming is involved with this, okay, you see, this is the size of the fire. Fires used to be like this big, and now they're like this big. Does that make it clear for you?
Pretty clear.
It's getting hot in here.
It's getting hot in here. The reason why we have these giant fires, and Scott Pelley on 60 Minutes, he said to the head of the firefighting team, he said, you know, there are people who are skeptical about whether global warming is involved. And the guy said, not in my profession. They've seen over the last 15, 20 years a complete change in what's going on in our ecosystem, because there's a 1.5 degree increase in the planet, in the temperature of planet Earth. See, that's science.
The one thing that really brought it home to me were those images of the Arctic, the decline of the Arctic ice. Yeah. People can now, NASA has this amazing animated picture of the globe where you see basically the entire white cap of the Earth disappearing now in a way that it hasn't disappeared for about 700 years. Now, I think we shouldn't jump to these anecdotal things. I think we should look at the whole data. I mean, we have the whole data, however. The IPCC has this climate report because the climate has gone up and down for all sorts of reasons. I used to be a skeptic. I'm no longer a skeptic. And the reason I'm no longer a skeptic is the data is now overwhelming. This is happening. But what's amazing is that
welcome to the party.
Thank you. Well, I don't believe...
So sorry we're all going to die because you dragged your feet for so long.
I drag my feet because I believe in fact-based science, not faith-based science, which is what some liberals believed in. The important thing is to stay empirical, Bill.
But I agree. Okay. But now it's overwhelming, right?
It is overwhelming. The question is, what are we going to do about it?
Yeah.
And who's going to help us do something about it?
And whether the people who've been dragging their feet, right?
That's right.
Well, we know
they have been dragging their feet.
We know we're contributing to the Earth getting warmer, so what are we going to do about it? We don't know how much we're helping it, but we know we're helping it. So why wait until we get past the tipping point? I mean, we're close to that tipping point right now.
Will a fire like this be a Rock Hudson gets AIDS moment, where people who never got it before and were oblivious go, okay, this could happen to anybody?
Even if they do get it, and I think a lot of people do, they're just not prepared to do what's necessary to deal with it. And what's necessary to deal with it is a tax on carbon and gas that finally makes it prohibitive so that people and the private sector can develop new technologies to get us past oil and past carbon. And that's perfectly, by the way, what used to be a conservative position. You recognize an empirical problem, and you try and get the private sector to solve it. Since we have these religious fundamentalist crazies running the Republican Party, we can't have that politics anymore, and that's part of the tragedy.
Yeah, and also the administration. This week, the Center for Disease Control testified before Congress. Their director, Dr. Julia Gerberding, testified. She was supposed to testify about the health impact of global warming. She had a 14-page report, which the Bush administration deleted 8 pages from. You know, she was saying things like cholera, diseases, you know, heart attacks, all the things that were the side effects of global warming. They took out 8 pages from this, and their flack, Dana Perino went on and said, there are public health benefits to climate warming.
Don't have to dress as warming.
Right. We're all dead. Traffic's a breeze.
And one of the things that apparently was redacted was the fact that the global warming will bring on more fires. And that was before this fire happened.
How could it not?
Billy, there is some, I mean, I'm not defending those people, but the truth is that when the climate does change, what it does mean is simply the Earth shifts. And in fact, places like Greenland and Russia and Canada are set I mean, you're going to have more land and habitable areas up in that part of the zone, and the middle part of the Earth.
Of course, we'll have to all move there because we'll be dead here.
Well, yeah,
well, it's a lot more. It's a lot more.
People do.
It's a lot more complicated than that.
Yeah.
Rainfall changes. The glacier fields melt. Rivers don't run all year round. 2 billion people live off the rivers that come out of the plateaus there in the Himalayas. All those glaciers are going to be melted.
Why won't your candidate, Hillary Clinton, do anything about it?
She'll do a lot about it.
She's not biting the bullet on.
She is absolutely biting the bullet. She will bite the bullet, and not only that,
in her life.
You know, I don't know why you want to bring this off into this, because right now it's very clear who's in the White House. What party is in the White House? They've consistently attacked the science of global warming.
And this is always what the Hillary supporters say. They never defend her. They always attack Bush. Well, it's easy to attack Bush. He's obviously been a disastrous president. What I want to know is whether Clinton's going to do anything better about it. And she's not.
Well, give her a
chance. She's not going to do anything better on the war.
I just want to underscore this
better on carbon taxes.
I just want to underscore the point that Bush has been a disastrous president.
Fine.
Okay.
I think that's the underscored point.
All right, let me...
What I have a problem with is the fact that they are redacting experts' opinion and facts, and we have so much censorship going on right now that we don't really know what is going on. That's why the rest of the world is better equipped to deal with these problems than we are, because they know more about it. We don't, because so much of it has been cut out of the media.
I think we know about it. We just don't care about it.
I don't think the fires are going to do it. It's a great thought, and I wish they would. But I think even these fires in California, they're not a big enough wake-up. We've had Katrina. We've got the Arctic ice cap melting. We've got the fires. We've got indicator after indicator after indicator. This is an issue. We've got Al Gore out there, and he's done a darn good job of publicizing this around the world. I'm delighted he got the Nobel Peace Prize for it. But still, we've got to have a national consensus, real leadership to come together, and then America has to help lead the world toward it.